Hi, and welcome to Kudzi Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Kudzai Mashaya, and I'm so excited today because I get to interview one of my good friends. He's not just a martial artist, he is the living embodiment of self-mastery, from his precise round kicks to the calm confidence that he embodies. You can just tell this person can defend themselves, and not just themselves, but others too. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, Joe. Yay! Hi, Joe. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm okay. Thank you so much for saying yes to this.
Yeah, sure. You're welcome.
I'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. Tell the audience who you are.
Hello, people. So my name is Joseph Kalawachulufia. I'm a BBA student. I'm karate practitioner. I'm a black belt Shodan first dan. Yeah, I train from Green Buffaloes Karate Club in Arakan Barracks. Yeah, but I studied my training in Dola Kalewa Karate Club in Kalewa Barracks.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Joe. So before we start, why don't you tell me what this thing called karate is? Because I don't even know if I should call it a sport or a game. What is karate, Joe?
Okay, so first of all, I'll start by explaining, what the word karate is. So the word karate, translated from Japanese, means the empty hand.
Okay, empty hand.
Yeah, empty hand. So karate is a Japanese martial art focused on self-defense, which uses the human body in the most scientific and effective way through striking techniques like punches, open hand strikes, and kicks.
Okay.
Yeah, karate also incorporates blocking, grappling, and throwing techniques that can help you overcome one or more opponents, or let me just say assailants who may be unarmed or carrying weapons.
Okay.
Yeah, but lastly, karate emphasizes more on the development of both the physical and mental discipline.
I like that, Joe. So, how did you end up being a karate practitioner? Did you just wake up one day and decide, you know what, I want to do karate and I'll be good at it? Or maybe you started training as a child. What happened? What's the story behind it?
I started training karate when I was very young.
Yeah?
I think, like I was 5 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, my uncle was the one who introduced me to karate. Then, as I became a little bit older, I found that I had more interest in learning what karate is, and I continued my training. I've been training for like 14 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome, Joe. That is so cool. So, there's something that I've always been curious about, and it's the belt. Because I've heard people brag about being a black belt or a brown belt. So, tell me the story behind that.
Okay.
Yeah, who gets to have a black belt? Who gets to have a white belt? What is it all about?
Okay, so before I get into the belts, I'm going to tell you a little bit what the karate training is focused more.
Yeah.
So karate is focused on the three main core principles, which is one, the katas, the basics, which is the kihon,
Okay.
and the kumite.
Okay.
So without these three, you can't call yourself a karate practitioner.
Okay.
Because firstly, when you start karate, you need to understand the fundamentals and the basics of the karate. So you start by learning the kihon, which are the basics.
Okay.
Then after the basics, you go to the katas or the forms, which are the prearranged sequences of movements that you apply the basics that you've learned throughout your training. And then now you go to kumite.
Okay.
Kumite is fighting or sparring. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So now about the belts. So the belts, or the karate belt ranking, is a symbol of the karateka's hard work,
Okay.
training, skill level, progress, and dedication into the journey of karate. Yeah. But while these belts, indicate the skill level of the practitioner, they carry profound meanings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, they reflect the karateka's progress and dedication along their karate path.
Okay, so what does the white belt mean? Maybe tell me about the white and the black one. What do they mean?
So the white belt is the first belt that you get. So the white belt, you're more like a seed. Let me just say the seed, like you're planted now.
Okay.
Then that seed has to grow. So when you're white belt, that white belt represents your purity, innocence, and an open mind to learn the basics and the fundamentals of karate.
Okay.
Then the black belt is, I can say it's a level of mastery, like most people think, like you know everything. But that's where your journey begins now.
Yeah.
Because the way of mastery requires continuous training.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you actually said it when you started. You said karate is a lifestyle. And I can see that you live karate. Even from the way you're talking about it, you're so passionate. I can tell.
Yeah.
Right? So, Joe, you knowing how to do karate, knowing how to do the kicks and the punches, does that mean go around punching everybody? When do you know to use karate? Or, when do you use karate?
That's why they talk about self-defense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you only use karate when you're in a sticky situation, or when you're attacked, or when you want to protect your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just go around beating people.
Okay.
Because karate always emphasizes, seeking perfection of your character.
Mm-hmm.
Even the founder of the style that I do, which is Shotokan Karate,
Yeah.
said um, the aim of karate does not lie in victory or defeat,
Okay.
but on the perfection in your character as a practitioner of karate.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Wow, I like that. So if someone comes to you and says, Joe, I'm looking for a new hobby or a sport that I can start, and I'm thinking about karate. Why should I do karate? Why should someone pick karate over any other sport?
I would advise karate if you really want to challenge yourself, if you really want to, have mental discipline. Mental discipline is the ability to control your emotions or stress whilst facing challenges. You get, then you stay focused on achieving your goals.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you want to have mental discipline, you want to perfect your character, because karate is a way of life. It's all about trying to be better than you were yesterday. So I'd advise person to start karate. One, you're going to be fit.
Okay.
You know self-defense. You're going to build character. You know how to talk to people and how to carry yourself. And the thing you have to understand is karate is not just about learning the basics or punches, kicks and stuff. It's a way of life.
Okay.
That's why there's a karate life book.
Oh yeah, I was about to ask, what is this? Can I see?
Yeah, so that's my license and karate life book.
Okay.
Yeah, it shows my everything, like my progress in karate, my gradings and everything is in the.
Awesome. Okay, so you get this when you
Yeah.
get to what level?
You get this when you go to brown belt, because
Okay.
by brown belt you'll be very skilled and you understand who a white belt is up to what a black belt is.
Okay.
Because brown belt is the belt that comes before black.
All right. Okay.
So when you reach that level now, it means you are at a high degree where you understand what karate is, and you're now preparing to grade into black belt.
Okay.
Yeah. So this book or license, you don't just have it and put it in your house or something. You always have to read it before you start training.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's
I
just
like
the rule.
that. Wow. I heard that before you start any session in karate, there are certain things that you have to recite.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so we have what we call the dojo kun,
Okay.
or the 5 maxims of karate.
The dojo kun.
Yeah, that's Japanese dojo kun, but
Okay.
in English it's 5 maxims of karate.
Okay.
So you have to recite them. For us Shotokan practitioners, we recite them at the end of our training.
Okay.
Yeah. So the dojo kun, the first one is, like I said, you have to perfect your character. So the first one is seeking perfection of character.
Seeking perfection of character.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then the second one is be faithful. What I mean by being faithful is you don't have to be faithful to people only. Also be faithful to yourself
Okay.
as a practitioner. Yeah. Then the third one is endeavor or always put maximum effort in everything you do, not just karate, even regarding academics or anything that you do. Always put maximum effort.
True.
And the fourth one is one of the most important ones also, you have to respect others.
Okay.
Because as a karateka, that's why you put on white, to show that our hearts are pure.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't just put on this white uniform because maybe white looks nice or something. This white actually means a lot. You have to
Wow.
you need to have a pure heart as a martial artist. So you should always respect others regardless of their age. That's why even when you go in the dojo, you find small kids, regardless of the age, the belt rank, you always have to respect them.
Yeah.
That's why you don't call each other by our names. If you're a white belt to brown belt, I'll call you senpai.
Senpai.
Yes.
Okay.
And then if it's a black belt going up, we call them sensei.
Oh,
Yeah, that's your way of respect.
awesome.
And also, before you start karate or before you enter the dojo, you bow.
Oh.
So that bowing reminds you that whenever you go in that dojo, respect people. Even after leaving the dojo, you bow. You always carry that respect, even as you move in the neighborhood or something.
Wow.
Yeah. Then the last one is refrain from violent behavior.
Refrain from violent behavior.
Yeah, always refrain from violent behaviors. Yeah, you need to avoid that. Where you see people want to fight, you can stop them, but you don't have to engage in fights. And always avoid places that will make you, lose that thing, that respect or discipline that you've karate has imparted in you. So you need to avoid certain places where if I go there, this might happen, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow, I think this conversation is so interesting because I'm finding out more about karate. These are things that I never knew. I just thought karate was some game, some sport that people do. I didn't know there was so much more to it. So thank you so much, Joe. I'm sure the audience are also going to enjoy learning from you.
Yeah, and I just want to tell the people, for those who are interested in starting karate or any self-defense sport, is one thing you should notice or you should keep in mind is that karate, okay, I'll talk about karate since I'm here for karate.
Yeah.
Karate is an individual sport. So whenever you practice, don't try to compare yourself to others, or don't just go the dojo because your friend goes to the dojo. Do it because you want to do it. Do it because you have the passion for it. I had people I studied karate with, but they stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, because they didn't have the passion. They were just going to the dojo because they saw me going to the dojo. And yeah, they also, got that interest saying, okay, since Joe goes to the dojo, let me start going.
Yeah.
And when you have that motive, you will never go anywhere in karate. So you need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on improving your basics, improving your characters as a karate practitioner.
Yeah.
And also think about the people you love the most, Because if you just go in the dojo, you practice sloppy, you definitely do sloppy. But if you practice well, you do well.
Wow.
Yeah, even the board grading, the gradings will be, they'll judge you according to how you've been practicing, how you've been training.
Okay.
So if you've been practicing sloppy, you can stay in one belt for 6
You won't
years.
move.
You won't move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much, Joe. I think that's a good reminder for those who started and stopped, because I know some people. I think two of my brothers, my brothers started doing karate, and I don't think they're still training. So yeah, that's a good reminder.
Whether they
Right?
lack motivation or, how old are they? Are they still young?
No, they're like in their 30s.
Oh, then,
Yeah.
okay, then that's going to be difficult. For them.
Right.
But they can still go back.
Uh-huh.
It's all about the passion. Yeah, that's what I can say. Karate is just about the passion.
True. I like that because I also have little nephews and nieces who are into karate. They started training. So, yeah, I think I love karate now. I would also like to start. Why don't you start a dojo here? Even on campus, you can create your own little dojo situation, and we'll come.
I can definitely do that.
Yeah.
And okay, since you invited me here, you wanted to know
Yeah.
or learn more about martial arts and karate. So what I'll do is you're going to be my first student who I'll train for free.
Ooh, I would love that. I'd
Yeah.
love that, yeah. Why don't you teach me how to make a fist? Because, I don't know how to do that. Like
Actually-
when you want to punch someone in the face.
That's a very good question
Yeah.
because karate, the first thing you need to know is how to make a fist.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, teach
We
me.
have open hand strikes, right? But
Uh-huh.
those come when you reach an advanced level. So the first thing you learn is how to make a fist.
Okay.
So how you make a fist is you stretch your palm like this. Then
Okay.
You forward,
Fold.
lock,
Look.
and then lock your thumb in.
Ah, like this.
Yes.
Okay.
So your main focus should be allowing these two knuckles to be out.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
because karate we only use two knuckles. We don't use this.
Ah.
Yeah, it's only two knuckle training.
So now it's this way or like this way?
You twist.
Ooh.
Yeah. You always twist
ooh.
when punching. Yeah.
Okay. I love
So
this.
you pull it back, then you twist, and your punch should always be above your belt. Yeah.
I have a question, Joe. When you're training in the dojo, are you sure you're not going to hurt anyone? Or are there rules that regulate your movements in the dojo? How does that work?
So how that works is, you as a person applying the techniques, right? You need to have self-control. You need to know how to control every technique that you do.
Okay.
That's why we're advised to, when punching, your punch can be slow, right? But your pulling back should always be fast
Okay.
to avoid injuring your friend. So like if I'm snapping you with
Yeah.
your oraken, it's
Yeah.
called oraken.
It's
It
Oraken.
Oraken, yeah. It can come slow, but my pulling back has to be fast.
Okay.
So that I don't injure the person. But also you blocking, you need to be alert because there are situations whereby maybe I might not be able to control my techniques and end up injuring you. But that's part of training.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is what they do is that's why they don't allow junior belts to do that. Only colored belts do that. Because you know how to defend and you know how to put back your techniques.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I love karate now. All right, Joe, why don't you tell me some of your favorite techniques? Is it a kick or
Okay.
a punch? What's your favorite thing to do in the
So
dojo?
my favorite technique, I'm going to talk about, there's what we call a maigeri.
My Gary.
Yeah, it's a front kick. You kick
Okay.
using your ball of the foot.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
the bottom part of
Yeah,
your foot.
that's one of the
Okay.
strongest kicks.
Okay.
So in karate, the strongest kicks are maigeri, which is the front kick, and the kikomi.
The kick. Okay.
Kick, yeah, yokogeri kikomi.
Okay.
Some people say knife kick. I don't know if you heard people say knife kick.
Knife kick.
Yeah, but that's yokogeri kikomi.
Okay.
Yeah, thrust kick. So that's one of my favorite techniques. And also the kiatsuki, which is a reverse punch. It's the strongest punch in karate.
You guys just speak Japanese at this point,
Yeah,
right?
karate training is all about Japanese.
Oh, okay.
There are some clubs
Interesting.
whereby if you go to the club, they will just speak Japanese throughout. So if
Wow.
you don't know any Japanese words or how karate is done in Japanese, you won't understand anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. There's really more to karate than I thought.
Yeah.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Joe, for sharing your wisdom with me. I'll give you this time to just speak to the audience, tell them whatever is on your mind, whatever is on your heart that you think people don't know about karate but they need to know, or even self-defense especially. Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm going to tell people is karate is actually very good for you, and karate has no age limit.
Okay.
Karate, in as much as karate is, focused on self-defense, right? Karate can also be practiced as a sport and
Okay.
can be enjoyed by people of all ages.
Okay. So there's no age
There are
limit
no
to it.
excuses saying I'm old, I'm too old for karate, I'm 50 years old. No. That's why if you come to me as an instructor, right, I'll know how to handle every person with their training.
Okay.
If I look at your age, I know this person is, the age limit that they can't do the things that I can do. Like for someone who's in my 20s, yeah, the way I'll do my basics and the way I'll apply my techniques will be very different from someone who's in their 50s.
Okay. Okay.
So I need to know how to take people, starting from the small ones, the teens, adults. I need to know how to carry out the training. Yeah.
Wow.
So my main advice is just try. Karate can do more for you. The karate community is actually the most supportive community because you meet a lot of people. Actually, you meet brothers and sisters for life. Yeah, me, I've met people like who have become my close friends and brothers for life, who I just met through tournaments. Like this, some guy, say Joshua, is at University of Zambia. Yeah, I even go there to train with him sometimes on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah.
That guy we just met at the tournament.
Wow.
Yeah, and we talked. So also the reflexes. Your karate gives you the ability to have, those sharp reflexes, how to carry yourself, and you just become confident. Like, yeah, there's just that thing, the confidence that karate gives you.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a confidence that comes with knowing that, you know what, don't mess with me, right? Don't mess with me. So I like that.
Yeah. So advise people to just give it a try if you want to challenge yourself. Yeah. So this uniform, most people say it's a kimono. No, it's not a kimono.
Okay.
This is a gi.
It's a gi.
Yeah. So if you do judo, you say judo gi.
Okay.
If it's karate, you say karate gi. And there's a certain way that you put on this karate gi, right? Like right now, if you see they are putting it on, my left side is on top, right? We put this during our normal training and our everyday life. But if someone died, like a fellow karateka dies, right? You wear it the opposite way to show respect to the deceased for their dedication and passion through their karate journey.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Joe. That is so cool. Well, you had it for yourselves, guys. Just find yourself a dojo and start training in karate. All right, we've come to the end of our episode. I hope you got as many nuggets of wisdom as you could. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.
Thank you.